Right, you lot, let's talk Villa, and it's another player sale. We'd already covered Douglas Luiz, as you can see on the screen previously on the channel, but we are covering all of the latest and greatest Aston Villa transfer news. So if you are a Villa fan, if you're a Premier League fan and you enjoy football content, be sure to leave a like, be sure to subscribe. There's so much more coming. It's going to be a great transfer window and a great Premier League season next year, I can already tell. But without further ado, we're going to be talking about OMARI KELLYMAN, confirmed sold to Chelsea for £19 million. If you haven't seen the Douglas Luiz or the other videos on the channel, it's going to be split into three sections. Firstly, look at his stats. Secondly, where he would have fit into Villa if he was to stay. And then thirdly, what I think of the deal, including a rating. So let's kick it off with the stats. And there isn't many stats to go through. OMARI KELLYMAN signed for Aston Villa in 2022 from the Derby County under-18 setup. He went in, as you can see on the right hand side of the screen, to Aston Villa's under-18 academy setup, where he got 6 goals in 24 games before flourishing for our under-21s with 14 goals in 31 games. He's played 6 first team games for Aston Villa in total. He's 18 years of age with a current market value of €1.5 million. Here they have him down as a striker, but if we switch over to transfer marked here, where we can see all of his minutes played this season, you can see he mainly plays in that attacking midfield role. And again, all of the stats there the same. Current market value of €1 million for them. Probability of transfer 100%, boys. But let's go back to FootMob here, and you can see this season in the Premier League for the adult men's team, he managed 2 games and 35 minutes of action with an average rating of 6.04. Literally no stats for him because he hasn't particularly played in the men's team there. They don't cover those stats. It's the Conference League I wanted to say. He did do 2 matches and 11 minutes in the Europa Conference League. He did play 90 minutes or 70 minutes in one of our qualifiers. It was against Hibs when we had to qualify for the Europa Conference League, where he did pick up a Man of the Match award, so fair play for that one. 1 game, 12 minutes in the EFL Cup this season. Again, there's not really too much to shout home about. Again, we look at his stats for the youth setup this year. It does get slightly more impressive in 716 minutes in the Premier League 2, which is the under-21 setup. He's got 7 goals and no assists in 11 games. But again there, 35 minutes of men's football in the Premier League, 11 minutes in the Conference League, 12 minutes in the EFL Cup, 1 game and 1 assist in that qualifier. He did actually play 90 minutes there, it is confirmed. So you know, you add that all up, what have we got? 90, 100, so 125 minutes plus the 20 or so from the Conference League and EFL Cup, so about 150 minutes of men's first team football for KELLYMAN this season, in which he only got 1 assist and he got a goal every 103 minutes for the under-21 setup, playing mainly in an attacking midfield role. So those are his stats. Where will he have fit in for Villa next season? Let's have a little look. So I've set up how sometimes we set up in a 4-2-3-1. This is generally how we do play, or it'll be a 4-4-2 with KELLYMAN starting more as a second striker there. Now I don't foresee, or I didn't foresee, KELLYMAN getting an outrageous amount of minutes for Aston Villa next season. He would be playing probably in that split striker / attacking midfield role, because he isn't going to be displacing Bailey and Rodgers from that team anytime soon. Now, where KELLYMAN for me worked the best, I do remember watching him and being very impressed with him in that qualifier against Hibernian, is if I just do this, receiving the ball here, dropping a little bit deeper to receive it, and then either spreading the ball wide or taking the ball and driving either to the right, or if we click him all the way round, driving out to the left, driving out into those channels, there, boom, allowing Bailey to cut inside of him, or if we go the other way, allowing Rodgers to cut inside of him, or finding that bit of an incisive ball. But he does enjoy dropping deep and receiving the ball there, and then being a bit of an outlet, or having someone like a McGinn do the 1-2 and running off of him. But in terms of how it would impact the team, again, we're going to have a lot of players that are going to be able to play that role next season. I'm sure we're going to be making some signings. Was an 18-year-old KELLYMAN going to be getting an outrageous amount of minutes for Villa next season and fulfilling this role better than anyone else? Probably not. What do I think of this deal as an overall general thing? pop the score up on the screen, probably a 9 out of 10. Now, Chelsea fans, don't get me wrong, Omari Kellyman is probably the best talent, bar Rory Wilson, in Aston Villa's youth setup right now, but he has ultimately played 150 minutes of men's football, 90 of those coming in a qualifier against Hibernian for the Conference League. He played 35 minutes of Premier League football for Aston Villa last season, and you know, his main sort of thing has been under 21 football. That he's 18 years of age, that's to be expected to an extent. Obviously some 18-year-olds do just burst onto the scene, as a certain Micah Richards would say, but £19 million, £19 million for a player that played 35 minutes in the Premier League. Yes, okay, his ceiling is outrageously high and whatnot. He probably has the potential to be a star Premier League player going forward in the future. He has the potential to be an England player in the future, more than likely. But for right now, and for the, again, I'm going to have to bring it up for the umpteenth time when we're talking about Aston Villa, the FFP/PSR situation that we find ourselves in, getting £19 million for an academy talent that does count as pure profit isn't too bad. And overall, I think we could, again, this is another deal like the Douglas Luiz deal, we could be looking back at this deal in 5 years' time when Kellyman's getting 10 goals and 15 assists for Chelsea, flourishing in their system, and think, what if we held on to him? But what if we held on to Callum O'Hare? Fair enough, he's gone on to do all right things for Coventry, but hasn't really done too much. Carney Chapman-Waker spent most of the season for Chelsea injured. You know, you think about other young players that perhaps we could have let go a little bit earlier, maybe got a little bit of money on that didn't work out. Russian Hepburn Murphy comes to mind. Nathan Delfonso, another one that was highly sought after. So you just never know. And for right now, the situation that we find ourselves in, £19 million for Omari Kellyman, I'm pretty happy with the deal. I think it's very shrewd business, and it allows us to go and spend big and get a fantastic player, maybe like an Alex Benaya in the near future. But let me know what you think down below. Like I say, Chelsea fans, he's a brilliant player. I wish him all the best. I wish I would have been able to get a little bit more of a glimpse of him in a Villa shirt playing men's football. But nonetheless, Omari Kellyman, Chelsea, 19 million, 9 out of 10. I'm happy. I think we should all be happy. Let's go and spend that money somewhere good.